I would like to remind everyone that this show is brought to you by the Dolphin Wars.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to King Dolphin TV, episode 260. We are 40 away from 300 episodes. I hope everybody is doing well and having fun tonight. Tonight we're going to have an interview with robotics expert Jondarr Bradshaw. However, I received a call from him earlier today, and he said he was on a flight from Dallas. So he hopes to be here on time, but if not, he will try to make it onto the interview. So, having said that, the show must go on. So let us get started here. We've got right now. Let's see. Right now it's all just wrenches. Hopefully there'll be more people coming on. But let's make our introductions, and I'll get people on as they arrive. And it looks like Stream Elements is being an idiot today. Maybe Sandra could try the exclamation point or Legatus can, see if it'll come up. All right, so right now, yep, another fine show brought to you by Semper Gumby Productions. So true, Snorty. So true. And I feel bad for you. I feel bad for you taking a pratfall. I've done those before, and those are no fun. Those are no fun. It works for her and not for me. Great. Snort, give it a roar. Give it a roar. And let me take care of this real quick. Thanks, Sandra. So, let us... Thank you, Snort. And doing fine, bit sore, impenetrable ursine cranial armor withstood the test. Good. All right, so let me welcome the people who are here right now. Remember, this is a Sandra production, so our estimable producer, Sandra, is here. Love you, honey. Love you, and glad you are here. And we have the first one in, the last one out. Legatus Legionii, also known as Troublemaker. And then we have... Okay, no trikes behind me. Snarl-Poopas! Q-Bar. Green. Hashtag. Raw. I wonder if he can make a robot out of me and what that would be like. Or a robot snort. Yeah, that would be cool. A robot snort and robot mini snort. Much like on Oh, not Alpha Flight. The Shi'ar Guard in the X-Men. We've got that one big robot and that one little robot. That we could do that. Yeah. All right. Robo Snort. Yes. Yeah. Robo Snort. Okay. So we shall. What's going on? I wonder if it's been with all the streaming that's gone on over the past couple days. People probably have decided they don't need. They're too tired of streaming. I don't know, but hey, we got a great crew here. We got a great crew here. I've gotten. I've I've talked to the person at the venue. All is looking good for PodCon. We've got the. We're just gonna do some finalizing on the poster, and then we will send that out. So, PodCon is looking. PodCon is looking really, really good. So, all right, yeah, because you never know with flying. You never know with flying how long is it going to take him to come back. And he also told me he may not have be able to get on any of his materials. So, but as Snort said, we semper and we Gumby. So, I hope everybody is doing well. Sandra says it worked twice, and I know the goddess. The goddess. This is a funny one. Legata says, I do hope these are fur resistant robots. What with all the animals in the pod and with Slapshot around, we don't want an electrical shock by accident. It did survive that time. Yep. So. Oh, okay. Oh, is the sister burst still there? Snort. Oh. Well, maybe she would have helped you out, and put a little mercurochrome on the. God, that's a name I haven't heard in ages. Mercurochrome. Does that even work? Or was it just orange colored paint that they put on boo boos? I know she's in town till May 11th. Okay. Oh, speaking about long-term visits, I just got I just got the note saying I'm required to do my civic duty. Yes, I said duty. So in June. So hi, Sci-Fi Mommy. How are you? Welcome. Um, we're waiting on our guest. Um, he was on a flight, and hopefully he will be back in time. So, okay. I can't complain. Doing good. Cannot complain. So, Okay. So you could say I'm trying to do tap dancing. You know, this would be a good time for a trike sighting, but I guess he's hanging around mommy.
He has the stick.
Oh, he's got a stick. No wonder I'm being. What's this? I saw you enjoyed JRC's videos. Who is JRC?
He's from the Doom Cops chat.
Oh.
He's putting out some music videos.
Oh, okay. All right. So, okay, so they're music videos. All right. Okay. Doo-doo-doo. Yep. So I'm gonna be on jury duty. The month of June. I wonder if I go in saying I'm King Dolphin, how long I'll be there. I better be careful. Who knows who watches this on YouTube? Okay. All right. Well, I'm thinking here. I'm thinking that smoke you smell you. Oh no, fat. No. Hello, fat for hire. No, 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 no. It's already. She is. Sandra has put a moratorium on any talk about cape and crown. As in, she's not even thinking about it. So, besides, this is supposed to be a serious show. None of this cape and crown stuff. Let's see. Yes, this is a serious channel. Yeah, right. Okay. So, I know you're serious. That's the problem. I know you're serious. And Legata says, and to quote a famous line, why so serious? So, well, we're just waiting. Trying to see what I could. Trying to see what I can do. Hey, Pudgy! Seriously deranged. Yes, we're all deranged. We are all deranged here at the pod. Hello, Pudgy Hedgehog Adventures. Who says Pudgy hugs everybody. All right. Let me just give me a second here to log in Pudgy. And we have Jondarr Bradshaw. Oh, I'm getting an echo.
I'm getting an echo on you.
Should I mute? Better?
Let's see.
Now it's
Not much.
Yeah, let's.
Okay, let me go to echo
Okay, let me
cancellation.
go to echo cancellation.
Let's see if that works.
How's that? Is that a little better?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, it's fine on yours, but I'm echoing. So.
But I'm echoing. So.
Okay.
I'll mute.
Apologies in getting so long to get to you.
Say again.
My apologies in taking so long to get to you.
Oh, that's no problem.
Long flight, busy few days.
Oh, okay. Let me set up my background here to a more appropriate background. I think you'll like this. Okay. So welcome again.
Wow, buddy, you look great.
Thank you. So do you. It's been a while.
It's been a while.
Yes, it has.
But it's always great to have you here and talk about what you do.
Happy to do so. Understand I'm just getting in. I don't have anything ready, so we'll just talk if that's okay with you.
Fine by me. I kind of prepared that.
Beautiful.
Do you have your speakers?
Say again?
Do you have your speakers?
on?
I do.
Okay, that's probably causing the echo.
Do you have a headset?
Bear with me. I'll grab one.
Okay. We'll be waiting. Okay. You're a real charmer. That's why I like you. They may take him away for a 72-hour hold. Hello, dead man walking. How you doing? I'm glad you're here. Okay. All right. Yeah. Hopefully that'll fix the problem. It's just, it's when you, flying issues when you fly in and I could see the suitcase in the background. So yeah, he must have just dumped his stuff off. So Pudgy says, "Yay, Mr. Robot Man!" Okay, while he's getting his stuff, how we're gonna do this is, we're just gonna talk. He had a presentation, but because of the having to get on real quick, we'll just ask a few questions, and I will, as usual, open it to the chat to ask questions. So please get your questions ready, and we shall have fun. Okay. And what's this? Raymond gets out of jury duty, and you get a break from Raymond. It's a win-win. Yeah, good old jury duty. I've only done it once in my life. It was fun. It was fun. Okay. What's a 72-hour hold?
Look up before that.
Okay.
It's what they do for psychiatric patients.
Thought I had some headphones. I'm going to lower that volume on my speakers. Sorry about that.
Okay. All right, that sounds better. All right. Well.
Hey, everybody.
Hello, Mr. Bradshaw. And what I know we've talked about your work with robotics and your work with prosthetics. What has been going on since then? And yes, I did see you on the TV concerning the eclipse, and I do want to talk to you about that too. So please give us an update.
Well, I just got back. Literally just got back. That's my luggage over there in the corner. Just getting back from the World Championship for the VEX Robotics competition. More than 60 countries were represented. Well over 800 teams. And the event last still going on, but I had to leave early because, well, I can only play hooky from work for so long. But it was really spectacular. Of course, we've got plenty of work to do. I mentor high school robotics teams that participate in the first robotics competition, and we use the VEX robotics competition as our junior weekend. I have 2 of my 6 teams that will be in Columbus, Ohio. They'll be at the Center of Science and Industry, demonstrating their robots for the general public. The following weekend is the Ohio State Championship, and 3 of my teams have qualified. So that's really, really exciting. Of course, it's really tiring for me.
No, I can imagine. Oh, that's great. 3 out of 6 are in the I'm
a NASA guy, and if it comes to aviation, aerospace, or robotic systems, that's my jam. But the programs that I lead, that I mentor, we really wanted to improve our students that our program was more than just about building robots. We really wanted to build to use what they were learning building robots to find a way to make their community, and by extension the world, a better place. The prosthetic limbs project came about. In fact, the students have called the project Hands Across Borders, and it's really taken off. Last summer, I took students to Ecuador. We went to Quito, Ecuador, and we of prosthetic hands and arms to children who were in need. This summer, we're going to the Dominican Republic, and I'm taking 15 kids and 3 adults. We'll be about 100 doctors, nurses, and surgeons on a 10-day humanitarian medical mission to the Republic. Very exciting, but we've got our hands full. For 35 sets of hands and arms. We expect to make another 25 or 26 while we're there on the ground. We'll also be teaching young people there in the country how to do what my students are doing here in the United States. That way the work that we've started can continue after we've left the country. And that's really exciting to me.
That's great. That's great. So how many prosthetics do you think you're going to be building there, or just providing to the students in need? It looks like we're getting a lot of drops. Ooh, looks like he's frozen. Let me go and type into the private chat. Yep, he is frozen. And he's gone. Okay. Thanks, Pudge. Yeah, Gumby is definitely Gumby is definitely attacking the pod tonight. Let's see. That's a good question, Legatus. I'll ask it. Nort. I have no intention of getting out of jury duty. I got out of jury duty in March. I think me sitting there munching on a seal put the lawyers off. Is that because was the seal still alive? Because I could see that. Man. Fat. Okay. Well, we'll see if he comes back. I mean, it's tough with when you've got. Yeah, I could probably see that. Okay. All right. Okay. Let me read some of these other things that hey, this isn't the first time we've had issues like this. It obviously won't be the last. It is StreamYards. It is StreamYards. Maybe the robots got away and decided to attack StreamYards to mess up the presentation. So Pudgy, how you been? Streaming a lot, having fun, playing Catapult. So it's really interesting. Let me go back and talk about what the stuff. I mean, it's great that 6 teams, and he's got 3 out of the 6 teams going for the state championship. That is really cool. That's got to be a lot of hard work for the kids. Because if you remember, the teams are from inner city, So it really helps them out. Pudgy says, Pudgy good. Played Fortnite Monday. Helldivers 2 Saturday. Hail, Tim. How you doing? FKHC 2005 is here. How you doing, buddy? Snort, I think we should have you go to Mr. Bradshaw's house and give the computer a beating. I think that computer needs the patented snorter pooper treatment. Of course, there may not be much of a computer left after Snort gets done with it. Send a send a Foz there. Yeah. Nice swift kick. Cleveland. So, and the thing is, let me go to Amazon. Let's see, Kindle. Okay. Let's see. I am looking for my library. See if I can. Cool. Let's see. Fairfax Kangaroos Hockey Club. Okay, where? Fairfax where? Is that Maryland or Virginia? I thought there was a way I could read. I could bring up Kindle on my computer library. Let's see. Okay, there it goes. He's back. All right.
Hey, buddy, I'm sorry I lost you.
Okay. Yeah, you were your audio was really bouncing out, but this sounds much better.
Okay.
Great. All right. So we've established we got 3 teams out of 6 in the Ohio State. You're doing a lot of the prosthetics. How many prosthetics are you planning on taking to the Dominican Republic?
We will pre-make about 35 sets of hands and arms for children there in the Dominican Republic. There is an advanced team that's already on the ground that's going through patients, looking for potential patients for us to work with. We'll get their sizes, their dimensions, and then we'll go ahead and fabricate those hands and arms for them, and we'll deliver them when we're there. Now, we also plan on taking plenty of spare parts with us. So while we're on the ground, we're expecting to make at least another 25 for those walk-in patients that walk in the door.
Great. That's great. So these are all done by your kids, by the teams that you mentor, which gives them a lot of.
That's correct. And because the need is so great, the doctors that we've spoken with in the Dominican Republic tell us they have well over 800 patients that are children that are in need of prosthetic devices. We've enlisted the aid of other high school robotics teams across the country. We're working with an inner city team in Detroit, one that's in Pittsburgh, and we're also working with a rural team that's located just outside Cincinnati.
Oh, wow. That's great.
We're also negotiating with another team that's over in Indiana to help provide parts for this. And some of those students will be traveling with us as we go to the Dominican Republic this summer.
Well, that's great. That way they could see the hard work that they're doing and seeing that they're making a difference in people's lives.
Word of the project is really taken off. Two of our students, the two young ladies who came up with the idea to begin with, were featured in People magazine. They were featured as 2 of 8 young women who are changing the world. So they looked all around the world. They found 2 young women who were, they found 8 women who are engaged in humanitarian projects. And 2 of the women that are featured are girls that are from our team.
Great.
Word of that magazine got out, and I was contacted by the Jordanian ministry that have asked if myself and my students could travel to Jordan to train their young people to provide hands and arms for children throughout the Middle East. And we're excited to do that. That'll be our project for the fall of this next year.
Of 2025. Wow, that is a worthy endeavor. Very worthy. You should be proud to work that out with other nations, with other people in need in general.
Yes, absolutely.
Are these prosthetics very difficult for people to manipulate, or were they designed to be easy to learn and use?
You know, that's a really good question. The hands and arms that we have made, that we've designed, they're 3D printed. So they aren't bionic hands. You can't lift a car or do anything of that nature.
Right.
But they are practical. So a young person that's fitted with one of our prosthetic limbs, they can drink from a glass, they can catch a ball, they can comb their hair, brush their teeth, they can ride a bike. They can do the things that kids do. We have found in our work with these young people that they will outgrow that limb long before it wears out. And that's a great thing. So the quality is really good. The kids took the time to do it right. And that's what really impressed the medical mission that we've been working with. IMA Helps is the name of that organization. They were so impressed with the quality of work that our high school students were doing that they invited us to travel with them every year to one of their mission sites around the world and to get firsthand knowledge of what it's like there on the field. I actually have a video, a collection of slides that we put together from our last mission trip. I'd love to share that with your audience if you don't mind.
Oh, please do. Just if it's ready, just click on present. That's the box on the lower.
Okay.
Do present. And
for a video file. Hang on for a moment.
Sure, you can do video file.
It was a great trip. It was really eye-opening for the students. It certainly was for me. Just life-changing, not only for the people that we were serving, but for the students involved.
Great.
Let's see.
Yeah. And while you're doing that, Legatus Legionai, our amazing question asker, he asks, what sort of support does your students in poorer nations get after the competition to continue to work and grow in the field? Ooh, that is a great question.
That's a fantastic question. One of the unique things about the program, it's an international engineering design challenge, but through that program, students have an opportunity to apply for up to $85 million in scholarships. Last year was the first season that we had any of our students actually graduating from high school. Again, these are inner city kids that have attended one of the poorest performing school districts in the nation. And yet, all of our high school graduates all got accepted into a college or university, some of them very prestigious colleges and universities. In many cases, for those prestigious college and universities that were so competitive, the deciding factor when the playing field was level was their involvement in this type of project. Those universities felt that this was the kind of person that they wanted to say was an alumni of their school. And our students were accepted, and they're doing extremely well. We're so proud of all of them.
Great. Okay, let's see. Snorter Poopers has a great question. I've always been curious as to how the limbs work. Do they attach to existing muscles, nerve endings, or both?
I didn't catch all of that. The question was?
Do they attach to existing muscles, nerve endings, or both?
Well, let's see. These are not myoelectric hands. These are mechanical arms and hands. Don't get me wrong. Our students have the technical expertise to create hands and arms that operate from electrical impulses coming from the brain through the muscle. But we wanted to develop these hands and arms for kids that were in developing countries with very limited resources at best. One of the early decisions we made was that it had to be something that could be easily repairable with resources that were found inside the country. And that's what we settled on, the type of hands and arms that we've settled on. They're inexpensive, they're easy for us to produce, they're easy for us to teach others to produce, and they become a great stopgap, for lack of a better term, for other kids.
Great.
Let's take a look at the video if you're ready.
Yep.
So we went on a 10-day medical mission, meeting up with representatives from a company called IFA Health. That's a nonprofit based here in the United States, all volunteer organization. It is research people from the healthcare profession. Vice President of the organization. We went to Keto Night. We saw over 7,000 patients. Wow. Each day that we arrived at the mission site, we saw people lined up over a mile away, hoping to see a medical specialist for the very first time. This bus carried some of the heartbeats. The man was electrocuted and improved both legs and both arms. Yadizelle, one of the young ladies who came up with this idea, very wrong. The view was just tremendous, like nothing that we'd ever seen before. young lady's name is Anubis. She was frowning when we first met her. We custom made a prosthetic hand for her on the spot. That's Gabriel and another one of our adult mentors. And while we were there, we also went to the country's health ministry, where we met people in their prosthetic fabrication lab to teach them how to use 3D printers and prosthetic limbs for children and for adults in need. Back to the hands that we were making to work with. These were the two students that took with me this year. Jackson, of course, learning how to walk on prosthetic legs. Took us under our and possible to stand the construction accident. Samantha, a double amputee, provided not one but two prosthetic legs for her. This young lady stole my heart. We custom made a prosthetic hand for her. Before we even had a chance to teach her how to use it, she figured it out on her own. You want to talk about precious moments? It was watching that little girl leaving the mission site, walking hand in hand with her father, holding his hand with the prosthetic hand that we made for her, skipping all the way home. Talk about, wasn't a dry eye in the house. Just incredible.
I think we probably have a few lumps in our throats. That's amazing work. That's absolutely amazing work that you guys are doing.
Are there other questions from your audience?
Let's see. Guys, ask away. Meanwhile, I saw you on TV on the eclipse. Well, let me go back. Your work at the Great Lakes Science Center isn't just on robotics. Is that correct?
No. The Great Lakes Science Center is a unique hands-on STEM learning facility for families. It also happens to be one of the official NASA visitor centers. In fact, it is the NASA visitor center for NASA's Glenn Research Center, which is located here in Cleveland, Ohio. Now, I was with NASA for 27 years before retiring for medical reasons. And the Great Lakes Science Center is sort of my retirement gig. I am their aerospace education expert. I curate all the aerospace exhibits, but I do more than that. Officially, my title is Community Engagement Coordinator, but I'm also involved with our robotics initiative, as well as all of the aerospace education work that the Great Lakes Science Center does for the public.
Great. Snorter Pooper says that was fascinating, that video. Thanks, Nick. So what, obviously the eclipse is aerospace education, but what all did you plan for that?
Well, we've been planning on the eclipse for about a year in preparation for it. It wasn't just conducted by the Great Lakes Science Center. We did it on behalf of the city. So the city celebration, and for those of you that didn't know, the city of Cleveland, a major metropolitan facility, happened to be right in the line of totality. one of several major cities across the United States where we get to see the eclipse in totality. Just truly spectacular. And with that in mind, we began working with the city, the Travel Commission, and others in the area to coordinate one amazing event. Our Science Center is located in downtown Cleveland, right along Cleveland Harbor on the shores of Lake Erie. And we turned our facility into the place for people to come and view. We had more than 36,000 guests at our facility on the lawn of the Science Center to watch that eclipse. And it was truly spectacular. But we wanted to do more than that, more than simply doing something for the people of Cleveland. We set out to provide training, education, and resources to all of the communities across the state of Ohio that fell within the path of totality. So for about a year, I was traveling throughout the state of Ohio at different locations, meeting at churches, community centers, museums, high schools, teaching what we called eclipse ambassadors about what an eclipse is, how they happen, how to safely view an eclipse, and then providing each one of those sites with the resources they need to host their own eclipse party for the general public. We wanted everybody in the path of totality to have, one, the right information, and two, to be safely able to view that eclipse. That way we were increasing the impact of what it was that we were hoping to provide.
Nice. Yeah, here in West Virginia, we got, I know I saw about maybe two-thirds of the eclipse.
You know, in some of the TV interviews that I did leading up to it, we saw a partial eclipse in 2017. And a number of commentators would always ask me, well, so what? What's the big deal about this thing? Didn't we just have an eclipse back in 2017? And I shared with them that was a partial eclipse. Now, granted, we were about 87% totality back in 2017. Mm-hmm. And I explained to them, this is a completely different animal. Totality is hugely different from what they thought they had seen. It would be a completely different experience. And while there is a total solar eclipse somewhere on Earth about every year and a half, it's usually about 300 to 400 years before you see a total eclipse in the same place. So here in Cleveland, our next total solar eclipse will be 420 years from now. In fact, about 420 years from today is the next time that we'll see a total solar eclipse in the greater Cleveland area.
And unless we're Vulcans, we're not going to see that.
Right.
Yeah. So
it was unique. We watched and experienced a 10-degree temperature change during totality. I mean, you could feel that. So it wasn't just a sight for the eyes, but if you listen carefully, even in downtown Cleveland, once the moon passed in front of the disk of the sun, it got dark, just like twilight. The birds went back to their nests thinking it was nighttime. You could hear crickets chirping.
Wow.
It was truly incredible.
I bet a lot of scientists were doing a lot of studies of...
There was, and we're still analyzing the results from all of that research. It was just such an incredible experience, and to have it right there where you live. We broadcasted live from the Science Center. NASA TV was there, so I did several interviews as one of the subject matter experts on NASA TV, answering viewers' questions about the eclipse, what it is, how they happen, how to safely view it. It was just a remarkable opportunity, and I had to remind myself that I was live on the air and I was supposed to be describing it. I was awestruck by what I saw at the moment of totality. You can actually see the atmosphere of the sun. We could see solar flares erupting on the surface of the sun. It was mind-blowing, just staggering.
Wow. Great. Absolutely fantastic. From what like I said, we weren't in totality, but I can imagine those that experienced it. It was a once in a lifetime experience.
Trying to see if I have some images from that total solar eclipse handy
Okay.
that I could
Now,
share with.
Is it a myth that it was? I know the eyes, you have to have protection. Is it also required, like your iPhones or Androids have to be protected too?
Yeah, they really do, for all the same reasons. You don't want to ruin your iPad. You know, we had a number of photographers here, and they had special solar filters on the end of their cameras because they didn't want to ruin their cameras. And we were cautioning our viewers, both those who were in person as well as those who were online, that if they wanted to capture those images of the eclipse, with the exception of totality, leading up to totality and after totality completed, they needed a filter. They needed some kind of lens over their phone in order to capture those images. Now, just like with your eyes, the only time it's safe to view the sun, where it's dimmed sufficiently so it doesn't damage your eyes, is during totality. So we had to wait until the moon had completely covered the disk of the sun. And then it was safe to remove our glasses and view the sun with our naked eyes. And it was truly a spectacular image.
Snortopupus is booking his flight to Cleveland for 2444.
Well, I thought I had some images for you, but I don't have any images handy. I apologize.
Oh, that's okay. That is okay. But that's awesome. Being able to be there and actually witness the eclipse, which again is a once in a lifetime experience.
In this location, again, the total eclipse occurs every year and a half, someplace on Earth. Now, the Earth, as you already know, is mostly covered with water. So often those eclipses occur where there's just not a lot of people. There are people who will book a cruise just so they can be out at that point, someplace out in the Atlantic or the Pacific Ocean, so they can be where the eclipse is and view that eclipse for the 2 or 3, or in our case, nearly 4 minutes of totality. NASA flies special aircraft that have been equipped with telescopes that have had part of the roof removed and then replaced with glass so we can observe the sun during totality. You know, when you're flying at supersonic speeds, you can get the totality to last a little bit longer. But the shadow of the moon moving across the surface of the Earth is moving at more than 2,200 miles an hour. So even our fastest jet planes could only stay in the path of totality for just a short time before the shadow of the moon outran the aircraft.
Okay. And I take it that includes the SR-71. If it was still flying.
That's right.
Okay. Laganis Legion wants to go back to the prosthetics. With 3D printers getting more popular, are you looking for more for your students to get to work on the basics before, for example, university studies, to include 3D printing in their work?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, we are. Our students began using 3D printers to 3D print some of the parts for their industrial-sized robots. You know, those parts are kind of expensive. And again, as I mentioned before, our kids they're inner city kids from some of the poorest neighborhoods. We turned to 3D printers as a way to save money, and we discovered that we could do more with 3D printers than just make parts for the robots. As the kids are learning more, the parts that they're building are more sophisticated, and we're already experimenting with different types of prosthetics that we can make with others. And now, Cleveland State University, Case Western Reserve University, and other colleges and universities across the country are beginning to partner with us to see if there are other ways that we can use these to lower the cost of prosthetic devices for people around the world. It is, it's truly unique.
Great. Now, are they both? I saw a lot of hands, but do you also make hands and leg prosthetics?
Well, we've gotten really good at making hands and arms. We are working now, experimenting with prosthetic legs. Mostly we have adults that because of diabetes, they have a leg amputated. And that's been a real need. Now, for us, our focus has always been for children. Because when we make a prosthetic limb for an adult, those adults, particularly adults in poor countries, those adults want to go back to work. Often they have lost their limbs in a construction accident. And the types of hands and arms that we make, they just aren't designed for heavy construction work. For example, we wouldn't advise driving a truck because the grip string and the prosthetic limb that we create just isn't strong enough to really handle a truck driving through the mountains. Likewise, they aren't designed for heavy lifting. So no chin-ups and no push-ups with these hands. That's not what they were designed for. You know, our first recipient that we provided a hand for, they did some testing and prototyping for us. A young man who had an amputation between the wrist and the elbow. He was so excited with the hand that he made. He'd gotten so good at using it. He tried out for his high school football team, made the team, and was on defense, and then broke the arm that we made for him playing tackle football. It just wasn't designed for that kind of play. Now, we redesigned the arm based on input that he gave us. We made it a little bit stronger, but there's still parameters that we like to stay within. And often the needs of an adult are just different than the needs of what a child would need. Of course, to meet the needs of the adult, it costs a lot more, and that's beyond the scope of what our budget is. Remember, the limbs that we're creating, we're providing free of charge to those families. Because our kids, because they're poor kids and know what it's like to be poor, any family that needs something that we create, we want to provide it for them free of charge. So our kids raise the money themselves, they donate the labor to get it done, and we even provide the shipping to the location that it has to go to. That's our way of paying it forward. Our kids are always quick to say, Mr. B, that's what they call me. Mr. B, you gave us a break. You showed us that we were more than just the sum of our parts, that we could be more than what people thought of us as. And we want to pay it forward for that next generation. And this is part of the way that they do that. You know, one of the neatest things that one of the students said when we were making a hand for that little girl that I was telling you about, he told me that because of you and because of this program, we don't see problems anymore. We see solutions just waiting to be found. They've learned to think outside the box. That's cool.
That's always great to see at kids their age.
Yeah.
Now, do they focus primarily in other countries, or have they done things for people in poor communities here in the U.S.?
You know, that's a great question. And the answer to that question is yes. We work with IMA Helps. They do medical missions to Asia, Central and South American countries. And now we're getting ready to do some work in the Middle East. But we also do work right here at home. Our first recipients were poor children right here in the greater Cleveland area. And we have shipped hands and arms to other communities, both urban and rural, right here in the United States.
Great. Legatus asks, for generic limbs, do you have a standard color when you can customize the colors to be more like the color of the child? How much of a difference does that mean to them?
That's another really good question. One of the companies that we use that makes filament for us, they specialize in making a type of filament that they refer to as skin tone. It comes in 4 varieties, from a light tan to a desert tan to a chocolate rose to a coffee bean color that tends to cover most everyone. Now, in addition to that, we also have other colors, including neon green, red, white, and blue, pink, purple. It just depends on what that patient is looking for. In fact, they have the choice of customizing it so they can have a skin tone hand or arm, or they can choose a combination of colors, a single color or a dual color hand that they like. Younger kids tend to like comic book characters. So they want to have an Iron Man hand that's red, white, and blue. Or we had a young person who wanted a Batman hand, and we made one for them. But we also have, as they get older, as they begin to reach upper middle school and high school, the young people that we're making them for don't want to stand out so much. So they want something that is a little bit more skin tone, something that will blend in a little bit more. Remember, in many of the countries that we go to, having a defect, having an amputation or a birth defect, excludes them from much of the activities that other young people are involved in. They're shunned in their community. So we can create something that helps them blend in. That's something that they'd like for us to do. And we do our best to make that happen.
Okay. Great. Let's see. Come on, guys. Let's ask some questions here. Whoa.
You've had some great questions so far.
Yes, indeed.
I apologize. My voice is a little raw.
Well,
I was MC at that World Championship event.
Whoa.
I called over 450 matches,
Woof.
and my voice is raw. And that was just one event. I've done 4 events in the last 6 weeks, and it's finally starting to catch up with me.
Well, we will be cognizant of your time and, knowing that your voice is getting a little raw. I know how that is. Okay, let's see. Ooh, I like this question. Talking about pop culture fans, have some decided they wanted to fit a glove over the one hand and say they are Luke Skywalker? That is a great question.
Well, we have had a few young people who have actually done that, who have put a glove over the hand that we've created for them. And that's kind of neat. Kind of neat to see. They still, if it's just the hand that we've created, the hand is operated by the movement of the wrist. So by flexing their wrist, they can open and close the hand. For an arm, that's somebody who would have an amputation between the elbow and the wrist. Flexing the elbow opens and closes the hand. And in each of those cases, we've had a few of our recipients that have chosen to wear a glove over that hand or arm. So we have seen that. I like that. Luke Skywalker, yeah.
The Luke Skywalker.
And Anakin Skywalker, for that matter.
And Anakin, yes, that's true. The Skywalker look.
Wow, that's what I'm going to call that. A Skywalker arm. Yeah.
Make sure you give King Dolphin TV credit for that.
As we customize the different designs, I mean, we really specialize in an amputation below the wrist that may or may not include digits, or an amputation between the wrist and the elbow. But we have created some prosthetic limbs for young people who have an amputation that's above the wrist, usually between the elbow and the shoulder. We've created a few of those, and we've named those design modifications after the first patient that received one. But now we've got to come up with a Skywalker arm for one that we can make with a glove. That way, it doesn't matter what color it is. We can provide the glove. We can do that. We can absolutely do that.
Yeah. Just be careful with using the Skywalker. You know the mouse will be put its paws on you.
Well, you know, my friend, I am recovering from stage 4 throat cancer. And early this year, I had to have my lower jaw removed. And I want you to know, the kids wanted to 3D print a new jaw for me. The doctor said, no, not yet. Instead, they took a bone from my leg and they replaced my jaw with it. And I'm still kind of learning how to use it. So my smile isn't quite the same, but I still got the same heart, and we're still doing amazing things.
Yes, you are. Sandra asks, is there a way that people can contribute to the cause? If you've got a link for contribution, you could put it into the private chat.
I do. You can go to our group website. Again, I mentor 6 teams, and all 6 teams are represented on that website. It's Cleveland First. That's FIRST.org. And once you're there, if you go to the section on About Us and scroll down and learn about partnerships, there's instructions for how you can contribute to us. And whether it's a gift in kind or a gift in cash, anything you'd like to provide, we would certainly appreciate.
No, okay. Yep, I got it. Okay. Yeah, let me I will share the website real quick. And there it is.
Hey, there it is. And again, if you go to the About Us section on the website, it'll tell you not only about our teams, it'll tell you about our community outreach. There's even a section there that tells you about our global community service project. That's the Hands Across Border project that I've been telling you about.
Okay. And there it is. So you can go to the
ClevelandFirst.org. And would you mind scrolling up again for me there,
Sure.
King Dolphin?
Sure. Give me a sec. Okay. Where at?
Right. Again, that's the About Us section. Plenty of great information there, from the home all the way through the latest news, our calendar of events, and of course, there's a lot more up there as well. Find out all about us, and if there's ideas or suggestions that you have, ways that we can partner with you or your organization, please, by all means, drop us a line and let us know.
All right. Hello, Dalek 451. How you doing tonight? Okay. So that is the website, and tells everybody. Hold on, my producers. You can, if you want to put this out on your social media or the Great Lakes Science Center's social media, if you want to put this recording out or send a link, you are more than welcome to spread the word. It helps spread the word on the great work that you're doing.
Thank you so much, my friend. We certainly appreciate it.
No worries. This is great work, great stuff that you're doing, both on the robotics side and for the kids that need prosthetics. You're doing great work. You're doing really
Well,
fantastic.
we'll definitely stay in touch. There's a bunch of stuff that's going to be happening soon. The Artemis 2 mission, first human mission to the moon in more than 50 years. I'll come back and talk with you about that.
Yeah.
I know some of those crew members and have worked with some of those crew members, so I'm very excited for them. And we'll definitely talk about our most recent trip once we get back from the Dominican Republic. Can't wait to tell you all about it.
When is the Artemis 2 mission? When's the next stage of it?
Right now, they're talking about November, but it could be as late as January. I'll keep you informed and drop you a line from time to time, anytime we get an update.
Okay. Now, this upcoming one is going to be like the equivalent of the Apollo 8 mission, where they'll actually send a live crew around the moon and then bring them back.
Right.
Yes.
It'll be the final check ride for the new Orion spacecraft. It'll also be the first crewed mission of the Orion spacecraft. So we'll put the spacecraft through its paces. We'll be out there in the farthest distance from Earth that humans have ever been, at a Lagrange point around the moon. So we'll be orbiting the moon, setting up some of the elements of Gateway Station. That'll be our space station around the moon. That will be our jumping off point for landing on the moon, which will be the Artemis 3 mission, or venturing further out into our solar system. So we've got plenty to talk about.
Okay. Looking forward to it. All right. If there are any other questions, Mr. Bradshaw is still available to answer them. Other than all right. Well, it has been a pleasure. I'm going
Pleasure
to.
has truly been mine. Thank you for being so patient with me.
No worries.
Day, and I spent the better part of the day in the airports or on airplanes. Thanks for waiting a little bit extra for me and allowing me to go a few minutes longer on your program, King Dolphin.
Oh, no worries. I want you to stick around after we sign off, but let's go to show notes. Snort says, great show. Thanks, Snort. All right, let's go to show notes.
Show notes with Mr. Ray. Show notes with Sandra too. Mr. Raymond, push the button.
All right, here's show notes.
And I love that video.
If you love that one, where I'm going to do the OG one.
Classic scenes from all of my favorite videos. I love it.
Yeah. A week from today, we're going to review the next installment of the Fantastic Four, and see what questions we have with that. On May 15th, where with Anti-Derivative Jill, we will be discussing time travel on Deep Space Nine, mainly focusing on the more classic episode of it, Trials and Tribulations. That's the time travel is hard enough to discuss, but we'll just focus on that one. On May 22nd, we're going to be talking to the team for the 99s Air Race Classic. That's coming up in June, so I'm going to be talking to the local team who will be competing into it, and we'll get the updates on that. And on May 29th, we will talk to Fermented Cinema. Just remember, every Saturday is Just Cuz, unless we have a away mission, which we'll do on Sunday. And Just Cuz, the show where anything can happen, mayhem and insanity ensue. So it is a good time for all. And remember also, in the 22nd of June, you thought the Battle of Gettysburg was of a large scope. Wait till PodCon, the first ever PodCon, shows up at Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. You think the battle was enough? No, you haven't seen anything till you've seen the pod invade Gettysburg. So that is all. That is all for show notes, and let's start wrapping it up. This one is for you, Jondarr.
Pleasure, my friend. Love getting together with you.
This show notes intro is for you.
It's time for show notes. It's time for show notes. It's time for show notes with Mr. Raymond and Sandra too. It's time for show notes. Done.
I knew you'd like that.
Man. I miss you, buddy. I miss you.
I miss you too, pal. It's been a long time. You got to come up our way. You got to come up to the holla.
Where are you these days? Last time I talked to you, you were in West Virginia. Are you in Florida now?
Oh no, we're still in West Virginia. We're still on the Eastern Panhandle.
All right.
All right. So
I'll try to figure out how I can finagle my way down there.
All right. Snorter Poopa says, take care of a human, dolphin, doggo, Dalek, ferret, eagle, hedgehog, and bilby. Sandra says, pod raid at Pop Culture Breakdown. The link isn't out yet. Or pod raid at Clobbering Times. Bet for Hire says, I'm proud to say I caused some of that mayhem in Just Cuz. Yes, he does. Check Bet for Hire's channel. Let's see. No, Snort. No. I went shopping for cherries and a microphone stand. I brought a Bing. Bought a. Oh. No, I'm not going to. Okay. All right. So, everybody, let me say goodnight to everybody. Visitors. Oh, okay. We have an animal. We have a trike sighting. I would be remiss in not showing a trike sighting.
Whoa! Nice.
That is trike.
Very nice.
Yep. He my dear departed Snoopy figured we didn't get enough tormenting, so he brought this guy into our lives. So we
A 90-pound bully.
A 90-pound bully pin.
Wow.
Yeah. So, all right. So everybody, let us. Thank everybody who's been here. We had Dadman Walking. We had FKHC 2005. We had Sci-Fi Mambi. who came to visit in the chat. Let's see. Who else? Making sure. Oh, we had Larry. Thank you, Larry, for being here. Always glad to have you here. And
I
now,
got to come up with
what?
I got to come up with a cool name like all of your viewers.
Yeah. We'll have to figure something out. Let's see. Yes, I have the coolest names out there. So that's everybody here, and now my amazing wrenches who keep everybody safe and relatively sane, except it's one of these. Here it's mostly chaos to the order. So, but it's always a fun time. First off, my producer Sandra, my better half, the lovely one. Love you, honey, and I'm sure Jondarr wishes you the same. We had Dalek 451. You know what he does. We had Pet for Hire. We had the first one in, the last one out, an asker of great questions, Legata Season 9. We had the amazing Pudgy Hedgehog. Make sure you check out his make sure you check out his channel and get great stories. Pet for Hire says, I don't cause the Gumby mayhem. That's Raymond's job. Controlled Chaos. Raymond needs to wear the Captain Chaos suit for the next superhero theme just cuz. Ooh, that is an idea. That would be an idea. And of course, the baddest bear on the internet. Start up a pass. Q bar. Dot screen. Hashtag roar. So, everybody, thank you for being here. We will see you on Saturday for Just Cuz. We will have chaos, mayhem, and whatever else. The kitty table will be full. The slapshot table has its asparagus. So I hope you all have a great rest of the week. Jondarr, stick around in the green room. I just want to touch base with you. Everybody, have a great night.